Hi guys, so welcome to your extended reading for pile 2 on what your Akashic records most want to tell you about the nodal shifts, with North Node going to Gemini, South Node going into Sagittarius. Whoa, I almost said Scorpio there, and you know what, Scorpio flicked out on one of your other things, and I just feel, wait, let me just see if I can tap into it, 1 minute, let me just see what is this thing that's coming in. Okay, so I don't know exactly what's going off in your charts, but actually after Sagittarius, the South Node, once the South Node has gone the whole way through Sagittarius, so whatever house that's in, it's going to really be helping you release heavy burdens from it, is the word that I'm hearing. Things that maybe felt a bit heavy or that were holding you back. And then that South Node is then going to start going into Scorpio, okay? And you want to see which houses that is in for Scorpio, because then that is also suddenly going to go through this process of a lot of heavy burdens being released. And I'm getting that actually for you guys, it's not just the next 18 months, but the next 3 years, you're going to find that your creative potential starts to come out and get expressed more and more and more. Because essentially, you know, difficulties that you might have had in the past, whether that's to do with feminine energy things like relationships, your own creative abilities, how you nurture, how you receive nurturing, or actually your masculine energy things like job, career, highest potential, finances, things like that. Whatever's been heavy and difficult for you since 2012 is actually really just going to start, I'm hearing the words, giving you new life, giving you new potential. And you know what? The way that you've worked so hard on whatever area that is, especially if you haven't seen much progress like in your physical reality, over the next 3 years is really when you're going to start seeing a whole load of potential coming out. Because I'm just seeing that actually you've had you've been carrying some heavy burdens. And I think you've been carrying some heavy burdens very much in a karmic way. I'm not saying that's because you've done things in a past life, which means you're repenting. I mean, I just don't even feel karma like that at all. It's just that I feel like it's more that you have decided to take on more responsibility than you needed to, on a soul level. And actually now that responsibility is being released, and it's giving you way more energy, passion and drive to now put that energy of responsibility into your life purpose, your creative projects, your dreams, your goals, your desires. Whew. I mean, that's just come out like woof. So I really, really feel that is totally true. But now, let me just go on to this. But yeah, totally check out Sagittarius, the house that's in, and then also Scorpio, the house that's in, because those 3 things are going to start to massively, oh God, all the karma and heavy stuff is going to start to be released, and so much easier than it has been done since 2012. Right, let's have a look here. So, what do I also feel going off here? What is the greatest opportunity? Okay, so I'm getting circle, 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 circle. I'm really sort of getting, and it all stems off from the heart. So the heart to a circle, a circle, a circle, a circle, 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 circle. Seeing all these circles. So I don't know how that might be relevant to you in some kind of synchronistic way. And we're thinking over the next 18 months as well. So just bear in mind that, because there's something important about that. But it really feels like the greatest opportunity that is coming your way. I just want to see what that is. Let me just get clarification on exactly what that heart is there. Because it's something that you have really held tightly into your heart as like a real heart's desire of something you've really wanted to experience in this lifetime. And I really feel, I don't know why 2012 keeps coming in, like 2012. It's really something that got seeded as long ago as 2012. And actually, whatever that is really going to be coming into full fruition over this next 18 months. Because I'm also getting the words like it's a completely new cycle that you're going into. So it also makes me think this pile might be people that have absolutely got either the North Node or some really potent personal planets in Gemini, and that's where that North Node is going to be going through too. So you might want to check that out in your birth chart. Let's see, what is that? What is that? Oh wow, the Empress. Totally. So the Empress, this is such a beautiful card as well, if you can see it. The Empress is very much about bringing new life into the world. Like I was saying to you, like it's like a completely new cycle starting. But this is one that's absolutely, this is like part of your destiny. And I start to get tingles when I say this as well. And you know what's coming into my head? I think because I just recently watched it. I don't know if you guys have seen The Last Kingdom on Netflix. I'm going to be honest, I've watched quite a lot of Netflix since this whole virus thing. And I never usually watch TV at all. But I have to say, I've really enjoyed it. It's been nice. It reminds me of The Last Kingdom. And they always say this thing about destiny is all. And I'm just hearing those words with you. Like, destiny is all. Like, I just really feel that your soul has been really working on something since 2012, even if it started at such a seed of an idea in 2012 that you didn't even know it existed. But slowly during this time period, it's become more and more like a strong burning desire. And I really feel that absolutely now it's almost like it's coming out into the world now. So whatever this desire was, I'm seeing it as this lady here. So whether it was a relationship, it was a job, it was money, it was life purpose, it was a health goal, whatever it was, it kind of like it was kind of like in the incubation period, like the chrysalis period. And I kind of like see now that like it had a cloak over it to just protect it, to nurture it, to allow it to grow. And now it's like the hood and the cloak is coming off that desire and it's going out into the world. The one thing that I do want you to know though is straight after that comes this card, 8 of Inspiration, which is actually 8 of Wands in reverse. And I don't know if you can see these 2 snails here. That just tells me that don't expect something to happen instantaneously. Just still use some patience. But it's just complete confirmation that it's absolutely on that process and it is happening. I'm also hearing as well from your Akashic records, the reason why you have to have patience is because you're still something hasn't quite been revealed to you. Like the moon can be a place of secrets, and that's how I'm feeling it, a place of illusion sometimes, things that are not quite clear yet. There's still something that you're not quite aware of, that it's like, it could be something that you're not aware of for some of you. So for some of you, it's a very physical, practical thing. You don't yet know this, which is then ultimately, once you do know, then you can accelerate yourself forward. But actually also for another part of you, it's kind of like, oh, this is so friggin' abstract, but you're just going to have to go with me. Your Akashic guides are saying, wait, let me just see if I can get it as a metaphor. 1 minute, wait a sec. Right, okay, this is what, let me tell you abstractly and then I'll give it you as the metaphor. For some of you as well, it's just that you don't quite have, oh God, I have to say it like this, the energetic download of what you need so that you viscerally have an appreciation of something. And when you receive that energetic download and you get that visceral appreciation in your body, then something manifests in your reality. Because it's suddenly like, and this is the metaphor, you can't see the blackboard at school. So then you go to an optician's, the optician's faffs about with trying to get some glasses to fit you. Finally, you get some glasses to fit you. Then when you next go to school, you look at the board and you can see it. And it just totally changes how you do in your education going forward. Now, I know that's such a weird thing to describe it as, but it's just kind of like there's just something that you don't quite have yet and you can't quite see what it is that you need to see. But as soon as you get this thing, and for this second part of you that I said, where it's not so much physical, it's more like your belief systems aligning with your body so that all of you physically, mentally, emotionally and energetically is in alignment. And actually this video is just popping up in my head that you might want to see on my See It Like a Psychic channel, which is, there's one about something about manifesting with your feminine energy. It's this one. I can't remember what it's called. I'll just give it the link here. You might find that useful because that's the thing that you're looking for. It's like the visceral feeling of something, but it is on its way. So don't worry about that. But I do feel as well, once you get that visceral appreciation of whatever it is, or if you're on the other part, the other set of people, where it's really about something physical happening in your reality, which then means you can take the next step with whatever it is, I do feel like you might have a little bit of internal conflict at first. And the reason is just simply this, because it's going to bring a huge amount of change, but in a positive way. That means that you step way more into your own power and literally start to create your life like an alchemist. Because actually in this card here, I don't know if you can see it, with the 3 pyramids, it's really making me think of that book, The Alchemist by Paulo whatever. And it's funny as well, because I was really kind of getting that vibe from this picture from the very beginning in the original reading that I did on YouTube, about there's something about the alchemist and like following the signs, following the omens. And so I suppose one of those follow the signs, follow the omens is, you know, once you do have that thing come into your physical reality, or once you do get that visceral appreciation of something, and it changes how your reality is therefore going to be responding to you, don't worry if you start to feel some internal resistance. That's just, once again, like this thing we talked in the other video too, it's just a little bit of nervous excitement or excited anticipation about the fact that something very different is going to start happening in your physical reality, okay? But like the alchemist, it is destiny, remember? Destiny is all that thing. And it really is something that's going to be birthed after such a long time of working on this, like from, you know, 2012. It really, really is. But that is really cool. I really like that. Now let's just see. I want to know, what is the booby trap that you guys need to be mindful of over this time period? Which cards do we want? I think I'm actually going to go with these. So what's the booby trap that you guys need to be mindful of? I actually really want to mix you guys up. Don't know why. What is the booby trap that you guys need to be mindful of? What is the booby trap that you guys need to be mindful of? I have to say, right, I'm starting to get an ache in my right shoulder. Oh man, I really hate it when my guides do stuff like this, so it lets me know what's going on. I don't like it when it does my physical body, but basically I can feel like a real burden of something heavy starting to build up on my right shoulder. So I don't know if that's going to mean anything for any of you guys, and like a bit into the right neck and stuff as well. But it's definitely just making me think that it's carrying a burden of something to do with, where is this responsibility of something? It's that thing that we were saying about taking on more responsibility than you needed to. But you did it because actually quite a part of you as a soul is, you're quite a protective soul, as in like you like to protect others. And because I think that you are quite powerful and quite strong within your own being, you kind of see that you have, actually I suppose a little bit like the Last Kingdom, like you had that warrior vibe, and also a little bit like obviously those 2 warriors that I said that came into the pub when I was channeling that from your Akashic records on the pick a card. On the YouTube one, I kind of like feel like you kind of feel like part of your role is to protect others that are more innocent than you. But this is something to do with the booby trap, so just bear in mind. Let's see what's going on. I'm really curious now. Okay, so we have Taurus, the bombshell. We have, oh, this is like the ancestral energy. This is totally something. This is something, and I wondered this from before, this is something karmically related into your family lineage. And then we have the Unity card upside down. Right, just bear with me a minute, just while I feel into these. I'm going to channel through the stones, I really like that. Okay, I'm getting this really clear what this is. I'm really, really getting that for you guys, it's 2 different scenarios again that I'm kind of feeling, so just see which one that you fit in. But basically you guys are in your ancestral lineage, there's kind of like, what would I say? Wait, let me just get this word right. The feminine energy in your lineage, and it's specifically to do with nurturing and also receiving, is actually has been wounded. And so it's kind of in a non-healthy expression. And I feel like as a result of that, you have therefore tried to take on a mothering role, and this will play out for all of you in different ways, right? You've been trying to take on a mothering role when it wasn't your responsibility to do it, okay? So whether you've done that for a sibling, for a parent, for a grandparent, whatever it is, you've taken on way too much responsibility to do with the feminine energy part of your lineage. It could even be by taking on the karma, taking on your mum's karma, taking on your grandmother's karma, something like that. And it's actually overloaded you. And you know what, this is this thing about, like, you've taken on so much, and actually now it's no longer yours. It is not yours. Like, you have done more than you needed to, and it's great what you've done because it's really set up your lineage well. But now, in order for you to move forward, you do have to let go of that contract and just consciously make the decision that you are no longer going to take on the burden of your family karma, that now somebody else or some other people are coming in to start taking on some of that responsibility. However, obviously you can still be there to support those that are taking on that karma, but you must not take it on anymore. Or I'm not telling you shouldn't. I'm just saying the booby trap suggests from your Akashic records that it's a trap to keep working on your family karma from now on in. Because now I'm getting that there's other things that you need to be doing. And it's funny actually, because this card here, the Empress that came out, is very much like basically the mother. You could say is the mother energy of the tarot. And this is the thing. If you continue to do stuff in your family lineage to do with that feminine energy, it is going to be taking energy away from the creative projects that you personally want to birth into your reality, which is your destiny, okay? However, and this is the friggin' awesome thing, there is always a choice in life, and you can choose any choice. And actually, it's not really like any choice is right or wrong, but just certain pathways will potentially bring more flow, certain pathways can bring more challenges, but either way it's an experience, okay? And it's just down to you to decide what it is that you want to do from now in. But that's definitely what's coming up as the booby trap. I just want to just get a tiny little bit more about this, because it does feel quite kind of emotional, and I don't really mean like upsetting emotional, but just like there's a lot of emotions and a lot of different emotions behind all of this. So let me just check here what's going on. So like I say, I think the two things, just for me to be clear on this, the two pathways are, and sometimes it might be somebody who's doing both, but a part of you will be very much physically taking on the role of doing the mothering for somebody else when it's not really your role. And for others of you, you'll very much energetically be taking on the karma of your female lineage, okay? And for some of you, you'll be doing it both combined. So just see where you are between that. But like I say, that is the booby trap. I suppose to keep doing the thing that you've always been doing is ultimately always a booby trap, right? If you want change and if you're wanting to create and birth something different. And like I say, you really have been wanting to create something different within an area of your life for a very long time, and now it is possible. And that destiny is all thing is so strong for you guys. But don't psych yourself out of it, right? Don't psych yourself out of it. Stay grounded to do with it. Let's just see. Oh, wow. Seer of Courage in reverse. Oh wow, and okay, this one is completely the rawest feminine energy in this deck as well, this card here. And then we have the Singer of Courage in reversed. And it's funny because they almost kind of like mirror each other. If I was to turn them up the right way, they look so similar. Just bear with me a moment. You see, and with the Unity card, I know this is in reversed as well, but these all feel like such like, oh. And getting that really, the booby trap is remained entangled. It's remained entangled in some of your intimate personal relationships to do with your family lineage. But it's not about just going away from them, like traveling to a far distance, like completely removing yourself from it. Because a little bit like the alchemist, you know how where he starts up is where he ends up. Because it's not about him ever having left where he was, really, even though he needed to gain all of these things. But it's not about leaving something to do with your family thing. It's just more about creating really healthy boundaries so that you can still completely interact with all of these different people in that lineage, but you no longer absorb responsibilities that are not yours. And this is just really, really important. And I actually feel as well with this one, the Singer of Courage in reversed, I really, really don't feel that this is about doing anything big or radical in your physical reality. And it's not really necessarily about changing too much unless you're somebody that's really, really caretaking in some type of way. But it's more just about saying in your mind, okay, no more to this. I will this for my family instead, rather than I will take on the responsibility and the burden, etc. And so it's not like essentially you need a huge amount of courage to make this decision, because the courage thing is in reversed. Because you know what, most people will probably never even realise that you've made this decision, right? Because it's so subtle, because some of this is working with very much karmic energy and karmic patterns. It's more just if you get clear and you set the boundaries within you, then your reality will start fitting around all of that. And suddenly the burdens that you were taking on board, suddenly you realise they're not even there for you to take on board, because actually somebody else is working with that. So I suppose what your Akashic records want you to know is this doesn't have to be a big deal if you decide to do this. It's not a big deal. And it's actually interesting as well. Obviously we had the Empress at the beginning when I wanted to pull more cards out about what this new opportunity was. And then we have the Queen of Wands at the end of that opportunity. Both really feminine energy cards. So I'm also getting this real feeling that, and this goes back to the opportunity that's coming through. I really feel like this opportunity is very much something Venetian, so like Venus ruled. So it's something to do with love, it's something to do with beauty, it's something to do with money, it's something to do with, and you've even got Taurus here, and Taurus actually rules Venus. So it's something very, like I say, Venetian. It's something that's very beautiful. As in, like, it adds a lot of beauty into your life and a lot of enjoyment and luxury and pleasure. But I suppose in order for you to be able to receive that in your life from whatever this opportunity is, you do need to potentially slightly change how your energetic field is programmed to work with Venetian, i.e. feminine energy. And if you're just used to almost taking on the hard karma of feminine energy, that is a completely different vibration to a Venetian energy of taking on the pleasure and the love and the beauty of feminine energy. And I feel like that's the thing that you guys are going to be working with over this 18 months. And obviously for some of you it will come into play really quickly, or just depends on how quick you guys want to work with it. But that is obviously the great opportunity that's available. And then also, interestingly, the booby trap very much relates into that opportunity, which I suppose makes sense because things are all interrelated. But I do also feel as well, just going back to the original reading that was on YouTube, it's really this thing as well. How you can navigate through all of this is by really working to balance. Whoa, that flipped. That's clearly really important. So pay attention to balancing things, right? It's about balancing things. I suppose that's it. It's not about either or. And that also makes me feel as well, and your guides are like, yeah, this is the thing. To do with the feminine energy thing and your lineage pattern, it, like I say, it really isn't about completely like letting go of something, but it's definitely about balancing up and getting those healthy boundaries. That's really, really important, so you can still completely coexist. And like I say, they might never realize that you've changed anything, because it's going to be so subtle, because it will work on the energetic level and then make its way out. But what I was actually going to say was that the real key as well is balancing and cooperating and collaborating with your intuitive abilities as well as your logical mind and reasoning. That's really, really important. So that is very much what I'm getting for you guys. Let us now just pull a wild card. I'm going to read this out of the book. And then I also have just a really quick shamanic tool that you can use to do with this situation. Oh, wow. Let's take it. You got two. Ooh. So you have third eye chakra and surrender. So let's see what it says. I definitely think the more that you surrender, the more that your intuition can tell you. So the less that you're looking for the answer, but you're almost like asking the universe, what is the answer? The more intuitive guidance you're going to get. And that was that thing as well about being flexible. And even if you think you're flexible, getting even more flexible, that we mentioned in the reading on YouTube. But let me just see what this one says here. 36. Okay, 36. So the third eye chakra. So it heightens awareness, shatters illusions. Oh, that's cool. To do with the dry desert that we talked about before. And it gives clarity. So inner tuition, within this new world, your pure instinctual self is calling to be heard as the way shower of light. With this mandala, you're receiving indigo and silver rays by the window of your mind. A gateway to deeper insight is further opening you to your inner world and the dimensions within the high realms. The beautiful moon sits at the centre of this chakra as a representation. You see the moon, there again is that circle thing we talked about. I know that's some kind of strange omen for you in the future. Anyway, the beautiful moon sits at the centre of this chakra as a representation of the divine feminine overseeing this great blossoming earth. The open lotus flower within this card reflects your inner lotus flower. It is now open to receiving divine guidance. Follow your intuition. A gentle yet influential energy of the highest order reminds you of the power of insight. Allow this energy to be your guide. Be open to your innate abilities. Birth the gift of vision and thus become a seer of your life. This mandala indicates you have the ability to share your gift with others as a conduit for channeling. You are ready should you choose it. The third eye chakra represents the divine garden within your eye's mind. It is full of flowers and bloom, indicating that you have not only surpassed the illusionary world, but you have chosen to be responsible for creating a new one. There's that thing about creating something new. That's that Empress energy again. Start by accessing this inner garden and harvesting wisdom from the precious flowers that have grown out of the experience and lessons learned. You can choose to see the world through the windows of your eye's mind. This outlook is divinely connected with all that is and speaks directly to one's heart. Nice. Now I just want to read Surrender 30. Also, the Pisces archetype here that we got as that card, it really, really gets surrender in many, many different ways. And quite often I always think surrender is like full-on acceptance of something. So I kind of feel that's relevant somehow. So it says here, surrender, sudden change, radical trust, grateful submission to fate. You have entered a space of surrender. This mandala gently speaks of allowing yourself to float within the ebb and flow of life, carried upon and within a new direction. There is a situation currently playing out within your world that requires you to relax and allow it to unfold. Let go of the need for control and know nothing is ever within control. There are times when one needs to act to create a heart's desire. However, this is not one of those times. Surrender is an act of trust beyond comprehension. It requires you to have faith in your abilities and to allow the universe to guide you to exactly where you need to be. This is totally The Alchemist and Following the Omens, by the way. At times you can feel as though you have entered a void, a place of not knowing, a place of stillness. However, this usually represents the opportunity for self-reflection, to hold a greater appreciation for all that has been thus far, and to be with oneself before embarking on fresh waters. The great current of life has a flow like no other. At times it is gentle and graceful, at others there is resistance and turbulence as you are swept away, leaving behind all that you have known, only to arrive at a destination that reflects the true vibration of one's soul. Allow the voice of your soul to be present, heard, and then share through the power of love. Oh my goodness, and that's also what we said at the very, very beginning from the other video on YouTube about really basically sharing your story with somebody and then listening and sharing to their story, and then it's suddenly getting shared throughout all of the pubs. So you know that metaphor we got in the very beginning in the Akashic records? That is so that. I really felt that was important. Anyway, now what I want to do is I want to just guide you through this really easy tool that you can do. This is whenever, you can do this whenever basically you want to energetically no longer take responsibility for something, and also when it's no longer time for you to take responsibility for something, okay? So if I just guide you through this right now so that you can then use this tool whenever you want in meditation, please feel free to completely change it into a way that makes sense to you. This is purely just a guideline, right? You then can make it your own. So first of all, just think of something that you definitely know you no longer want to take responsibility for. Definitely please don't rush this concept that was going on here to do with your family lineage. Maybe that might be something you want to contemplate on. You can just think of something small to begin with, just so you can try this tool out, see how you feel about it. So now that you know the thing that you want to take, no longer want to take responsibility for, I want you to just first of all close your eyes. And I just want you to go to a place that you feel completely at peace with. It could be imagined or it can be made up, it doesn't matter. And when you're there, I just want you to take a couple of deep breaths in and all the way out, just to really relax yourself and integrate your energy into that environment. Sharing your energy with that environment and allowing that environment to share its energy with you. And you can do that through the breath. So breathing in that energy's environment and then breathing out your energy into the environment. Now this is where you're actually going to see one of your Akashic guides come towards you. Don't worry if you can't see them or visualize them. Maybe you feel them, maybe you can smell them, or you just imagine them. It really doesn't matter. Just trust however you do it, because it will be awesome whatever way you do it. So you see this Akashic guide, one of your Akashic guides come up to you, and they hold this key. And this key is to do with the thing that you no longer want to take responsibility for. So look at the key, see what colour it's like, see what it's like. And then your Akashic guide will say to you, are you sure that you no longer want to take responsibility for, and say whatever it is that you've decided. If then obviously you've decided you no longer want to take responsibility for this, you say yes, and your Akashic guide will then give you this key. Then what will happen is you'll suddenly see that you're in front of the Lords of Karma. And there's usually 9 laws of karma. You can visualize them anyway. I'm not going to tell you any more than that because you just make it your own. Even if you can't see anything or imagine it, just believe that it's there. Just hold the intention, that's all you need. And you see in front of the laws of karma, you see there's like a purple bonfire in between you and in between them. And you basically say to them what you no longer want to take responsibility for and why you don't want to take responsibility for it anymore. They listen to everything that you've said. And then you see them slowly nod their head and they just show a gesture of their hands towards the purple bonfire. And now this is your true moment. If you really want to let go of the responsibility of whatever that is, slowly work up towards that purple bonfire and completely in your own time, please do not rush this, when it feels right to you, place that key in the purple bonfire. This is the cosmic diamond violet flame, and it really helps to transmutate karma. As the key goes in, you might see something like some purple dragons come out of the fire and like fly all around you. It could be anything, right? Just trust whatever you get, because we all have a unique relationship with the cosmic diamond violet flame. All I know that will happen is whatever comes out of the fire that's beautiful and loving, it will blow some purple energy all the way through from the crown of your head all the way through to the soles of your feet, and it's just cleansing and purifying you of that karma and that responsibility. When that's all been done, your Akashic guide will take you back to the original place that you went to at the beginning of this kind of journey. And your Akashic guide stands in front of you and just puts both of his hands, one on one of your shoulders, one on the other one of your shoulders. And you just take a huge sigh of relief as you just feel all of the tension of that burden that you've been carrying from that responsibility just dissolve from your body and your energetic being. Now your Akashic guide looks at you, they wink, and then they disappear. And you just feel a sense of relief that you no longer carry that burden, that you have given up that key. And you've given it over to the cosmos, the universe, and Lady Gaia, and the laws of karma to decide how that they will transmute and transform that energy. But you are now free from that. And then when you feel ready, obviously make sure you're fully grounded, wiggle your toes, wiggle your feet, take some deep breaths, do whatever you do to completely reground yourself back into this reality. And then when you're ready, open your eyes in your own time. Okay, so that is something that I always just call basically giving back a key to do with something. Sometimes you might actually even give it back to a certain person if you know that that's something that is now, you know, you've both agreed as souls that that person now takes care with. If you don't know where that key needs to go, the best thing is you go to the laws of karma and you let the laws of karma decide. That is the best thing if you're not sure. If you do know where that responsibility needs to go to, and sometimes we do, then you just do the thing of basically calling in that person's soul and handing them over the key and just explaining, I've done all I can now it's over to you. And I trust and I believe in you. Just something really supportive like that. But like I say, please use and develop this tool whatever way that you want to. And for those of you that did see your Akashic guide then, this is your Akashic guide. We all have them. If you want to learn more about your Akashic records, in the end you'll get an Akashic master. But we all have Akashic guides. I love my Akashic guide, but I also love my Akashic master. Anyway, I hope you found that really, really useful. Like I say, please just check out anything else you might find useful on my Instagram, Facebook, on my other YouTube channel. And I hope you enjoyed that. And and always remember to basically if you feel you need to, after doing something like that energy work, you either just want to sleep, you want to go for a walk in nature, you want to have a shower, you want to have a bath, you maybe want to have a hug with somebody that you love, whatever feels right to you, just respect and honour yourself. And yeah, enjoy this time period, because you know what? I'm really looking forward to it. Gemini, Sagittarius is so much lighter, way more playful than Cancer, Capricorn. So I think that holds us all in really good stead. Anyway, see you guys soon again. Bye. Oh, thanks for letting me read for you. That was awesome. Bye. You know what, guys? Sorry I'm back, because I totally forgot. We didn't pull out who was the mentor of the opportunity coming. Sorry, we just got totally pulled into that thing there. I think it's because it is actually really important as a booby trap. But anyway, let me just see, because this is equally important. 1 second. So who is the mentor that you need to be mindful that's coming into your life to really help you during this time period? Let's see what you get. Let's see. I tell you, one of the things that makes me think is you can totally work with your Akashic guide on like an energetic level. I really do feel like that is something for maybe you to explore more if you're into that. But let's just see. On a practical level, who is coming into your... Oh, wow. That mother energy again. Mother Earth. I love this one here. Feel loved and comforted. Priest. Facilitates spiritual commitments. Serves as a channel of spiritual energy. That's so interesting, because your third eye in that reading was like saying that you can channel energy. Shadow. Violates the trust of your spiritual community. Seduced by your own spiritual role. Who is the mentor that's coming into your life? Okay, I know what this is. I know who this is. I think the person that is basically going to be coming into your life as a guide for you over this time period, I do believe it's somebody where if you decide to do a change, like we talked about, to do with taking on the responsibility of something to do with a heavy energy, to do with the feminine energy in your lineage, I do feel that you're going to meet somebody. For some of you, it will be a friend. And for some of you, it may even be a lover who basically embodies feminine energy. And they embody feminine energy in a way that becomes super, super nurturing to you. And I kind of feel like this person, once again, you know that destiny is all thing. I feel this is quite a destined person that will come into your life in that kind of way, but you'll recognize them because they'll have a really strong feminine energy, and the words that I'm getting are they'll just be very nurturing and they'll be very, very supportive to you. I'm not saying that this means that they're always going to be agreeing with you or anything like that, because it's really not about that, because they're also going to be like it's going to be like a very spiritual connection. So they'll definitely call you out on your stuff, but they'll really care for you no matter what you choose or do. That's something about how you'll recognise this person. One other thing that is also just coming in as well to do with this Mother Earth thing and to do with the feminine energy, I do think for some of you should Google basically your the Gaia Gateway. The Gaia Gateway is kind of like part of your higher chakras, right? And it's below your Earth Star chakra. And basically it helps you to connect into basically this spirit, like the living consciousness, like Lady Gaia herself, basically. And it's a really, really beautiful energy. And one of the ways that you can do that is, I'm not going to do it, but I'll just briefly tell you, and then you can explore with it if you want to. Basically, in meditation, set the intention that you want to connect into, open and activate your Gaia Gateway. And then the way that I've seen it when I've done it with people, or I've done it with myself, is Lady Gaia will come and see you herself in whatever form that she appears to you is the thing that will resonate to you. So for me, she's like this super like beautiful lady like this beautiful lady. Anyway, she'll come and basically just say to her, like, you really want to build that relationship with her. You really want to feel more connected to the earth, like connected to being a human being on the earth, that kind of thing, to really feel that you want to be here and that you really can enjoy the energies, like Venusian again, of everything that's around you. And then the way that I've always seen it is she then hugs you and you hug her. And it's in that embrace, when her heart meets your heart, that the Gaia Gateway is opened within you. But anyway, Google that if you want to. Cool, I feel like your reading has been pretty deep and it's gone into quite a lot of stuff. So yeah, I hope you found all of that really useful. And sorry about that last bit, but I just felt, no, we should still do it. Right now I'm definitely going for sure. Bye.